Historically, Marshall has been a strong football program and has only had 4 coaches since the mid-1990s. They have seen some great players come through their program, but struggled on the recruiting trail the last few years. That was until they hired Charles Huff, who is going to be one of the hottest coaches on the market over the next few years and has the ability to make Marshall football one of the premier Group of 5 schools nationally. Before we get into why I think Charles Huff is building something special at Marshall, let's go over his backstory. Charles Huff was born on April 26, 1983, and grew up in Denton, Maryland. Huff walked onto the football team at Hampton as a fullback, would play tight end, guard, and started at center, being named a team captain his senior year. Huff got his first coaching job at Tennessee State, where he coached the offensive line under Fred Keiss. Following the 2006 season, he was named the tight end coach and special teams coach as well. He left Tennessee State to become an assistant offensive line coach at Maryland in 2009 before returning to his alma mater as the offensive line coach and run game coordinator in 2010. In 2011, he was hired by first-year Vanderbilt head coach James Franklin as the offensive quality control coach. He spent 2012 with the Buffalo Bills as their assistant running backs coach before joining the coaching staff at Western Michigan in 2013 as their running back coach under first-year head coach PJ Fleck. Huff reunited with James Franklin in 2014 when he was hired as the running back coach and special teams coordinator at Penn State and played a crucial role in recruiting and developing Saquon Barkley. In 2018, Charles Huff left Penn State to join Joe Moorhead on his Mississippi State staff, serving as the assistant head coach, run game coordinator, and running back coach. Then, Nick Saban came calling, and when one of the greatest coaches of all time calls you, you go. While at Alabama, Huff served as the associate head coach and running back coach. He also served as an important recruiter for the Crimson Tide, delivering 5 5-star recruits to Alabama, including the nation's top offensive tackle in the class of 2021, Floridian J.C. Latham. He also was a key coach when it came to developing Najee Harris. Then, Charles Huff was hired to be the next head coach of Marshall football. Huff had the backing of several former Thundering Herd star players, as well as other power brokers who really believe in him being the right person for the job at the time. In the past, he came close to landing other head coaching jobs like South Alabama, Northern Illinois, and Akron, but they would all go with someone else. Huff was the perfect hire, and here's why. When it comes to college football, Huff follows in the footsteps of former mentor James Franklin. As Dave Jones from Penn Live puts it, Charles Huff is a junkie, a lifer, and addict. If the first step in recovery is acknowledgement, Huff has that much covered. It's just he has no interest in recovering from his obsession with football. Whether he is on vacation or playing golf, he's always focused on getting back to work. Huff has developed a reputation for his enthusiasm to work, engaging personality, and focused on what is best for the team, not just for him as an individual. Joe Moorhead spoke on Huff saying, he's incredibly organized, meticulous, attentive to detail. He carries himself in a very professional manner. This is my 23rd year, and when you're around enough assistant coaches, you get a sense pretty quickly for which guys are destined to be head coaches. You didn't have to be around Charles very long to realize it was not going to be if, but when. For those who question Huff as a head coach because he never served as a coordinator, he has the answer for you, saying, being a coordinator has very little to do with being a head coach. Actually, if you've been a coordinator, you're actually less likely to be a phenomenal head coach because you've only worked one side of the ball your entire life. When you have a CEO mindset like I do, you're constantly thinking about the big picture. You can tell when someone talks if they're thinking about the big picture or about the house they live in. Throughout his career, he was never focused on the next job, he was always focused on his current one. When Huff took over at Marshall, he knew the goals for the university were to win the conference championship. During the 2020 season, Marshall had started the season 7-0 and ranked top 15 in the AP poll before a disastrous finish to the season, so Huff knew his team was going to be able to win right away. While Marshall's 7-5 regular season had ups and downs, back-to-back wins to start, including one against Navy, a 3-game losing streak followed by a 4-game win streak, losses in 2 of the last 3, and losing in the bowl game to Louisiana, things seemed to be going up for Marshall. Before he had gotten to Marshall, their recruiting had fallen off, so he knew he needed to fix that. His answer? The best class in Conference USA and the 58th best recruiting class nationally. He focused on going after players his staff wanted and did not settle on someone's second choice. Charles Huff has already become a hot commodity for Power 5 schools. He reportedly turned down the Duke head coaching job and would eventually go to Mike Elko. He also was rumored to be a candidate for the Virginia Tech coaching job as well. Charles Huff is building something special at Marshall and is the next up-and-coming big-name head coach candidate, especially being in his late 30s. If he chooses to stay at Marshall, I think he has all the tools as a head coach and recruiter to make the Thundering Herd one of the best Group of 5 schools in the nation. What do you think? Is Charles Huff the real deal? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.